Thank you. Hey, John, how are you? Thanks so much for joining me.
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm Izzy from Alt AZ. Very excited to be talking with John Gourley from Portugal, the man. Big fan. Innings Fest, when I saw you guys a couple years ago, was absolutely incredible. Obviously, we're in Phoenix, and we've been playing your song Dummy, and it's an absolute banger. Not surprised at all. You guys have a new album, Chris Black Changed My Life, which is going to be coming out next Friday, June 23rd, which we are incredibly psyched about. So obviously, listeners know Dummy very well. Can they expect the same vibe for the rest of the album, or are there some surprises?
I've never been good at sticking to one vibe for an album. I think it's like growing up being like a Beatles kid. Like I always love listening to their records where they're all the songs are consistently good.
Yeah.
They all stand side by side. But I love that you'll get like Helter Skelter and then Cry Baby Cry, and you have these two different ends of the spectrum. And I mean, that's what an album is supposed to be. It's supposed to take you on a journey. It's supposed to take you to new places. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's some really cool moments. Summer of Love, I think, is just such a like summery, fun song. It has like this rad saxophone in it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've always felt like your band in general has been kind of experimental. And I think one of the things I've loved about your music is that you guys don't really fit into one genre. Like when people are like, well, what kind of music are they? It's like, well, you can't really peg it, like they're kind of alternative, like they've got some funk to them. I don't really know. And I think that's one thing that makes you guys so special.
Yeah, no, I kind of love that too. It was funny, like, I mean, not to, I guess, humble brag. Grammys, we went to the Grammys. It was so funny. Like, we're up for a pop Grammy, or like, we're not alternative. We're not in like, aren't we a rock band? I don't
Yeah,
even know
Taylor
like
Swift
what.
is like, what the hell?
You taking my Grammy?
Exactly. Now,
Yeah, we
you
took it.
dedicated this album to your late friend and your hype man, Chris Black, who passed away a few years ago, and I'm very sorry for your loss. Can you tell us a little bit about the dedication?
Yeah, so the album, I mean, really generally like speaking, it's about community and family. It's kind of something that we've always sung about and we've always talked about. Chris was a person in my life that he really gave me direction. He's that friend that would like check you when you like cross the line, and then he would troll you and roast you, and we just laughed, like you just laugh with these people. And the whole idea behind it is talking about these people while they're here, talking about people who change your life. Like, I mean, my goal with it is to see in Chris's name, I would love to see people talking about folks who changed their lives. And I've seen it in our comments on our posts. You know what? My friend Sarah changed my life. And below it, Sarah pops in, she's been added
Oh,
and says, "Oh my God, I had no idea I made an impact on your life." And
oh,
it's been really cool seeing that. It's just about saying difficult things out loud, things that you might not have said to people. And it's all things that I wish I had done with Chris. I wish Chris could be here to hear this album, and we did so much of it. Well, I was riding on the bus with him. I would send him songs and he would check out and be like, "Oh, this is tight. Like, do this," you know. And that's what we're here for, is to talk about people who mean something to us.
I think it is a big reminder because typically, until something scary or bad happens in someone's life, they don't tend to tell people daily that they love them, or how much they appreciate them, or why they appreciate them. And I think that that's something that we need to keep in mind, because one day somebody might not be here anymore, and then we're going to regret that we didn't tell them every single day that we love them. And I think that's also something that like society just needs to get more comfortable with, like, I love you, bro, like guys telling their friends that, like, that's okay. That should be normal. Like, we need to let the people know around us how much they've affected our lives. So I think that's really important. And it's great that already just dedicating your album to your good friend Chris Black is affecting other people and kind of teaching them that.
Yeah, it just kind of naturally did that. And it's there's so many things. I mean, my buddy Jake, the first person I met when I moved to Portland, he gave me so much guidance. I mean, musically and just aesthetically. And I was a kid from Alaska who's just like trying to play music, and it helped so much to have somebody who's just hanging with me and just kind of showing me the door, you know, showing me like, oh, go that way. Like that's a good route for you. You know, and that applies in so many different ways. I mean,
Yeah.
for folks being cool with me dropping out of school and going to play music,
Yeah.
that
I'm
changed my
sure they
life.
weren't psyched about that. Yeah. It's a big risk, but hey, it paid off.
Yeah, it's all worked out.
I also see that you're wearing your Francis Changed My Life shirt. So I want to definitely talk about that. So on your website, chrisblackchangedmylife.com/donate, you can actually even see like a little video that you and your wife put together. Let's talk about your daughter, Frances, who has a incredibly rare disease that you're trying to donate money for her treatment.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, Frances started having seizures. Our daughter Frances, she had the things going on, like she had developmental delays and things like that. Things that were kind of diagnosed as like, oh, ADHD or spectrum stuff. It turns out that she has a neurodegenerative disease called DHDDS. And when we were told DHDDS, we didn't know what that was. Of course we wouldn't. There's 6 people in the world with this disease at the time. And it's a subset of a slightly larger group. I think 70 of the general condition. But yeah, it has brings on epilepsy. It's
Oh God.
progressive, so it's like dementia in a kid, Parkinson's. It's like, I mean, just since her diagnosis, I've seen her tremors get worse, and
Oh,
it seems like it's happening so quick. And she's just such a funny kid. Like she loves to laugh so much. She's just always like tickle me. I have so many videos where she's like, take a video, tickle me. I'm like, Jesus, you're 12 years old now. Like I'm still tickling you. And she just loves being tickled. She loves laughing. She loves cooking. And I just love running around with her. You know, but it is like this kind of very daunting burden that we kind of get stuck with. This like you have to fund and do the research and look into drug repurposing. And man, as big as that song was, and that we had, that song was massive. We got the Grammy. Yeah,
yeah.
it's not enough.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our healthcare system. And I think it's something that's really important for us to all look at and understand that, you know, if we can solve some of these really rare diseases, is if we can repurpose these drugs, we can make this stuff more affordable for everybody. And
Yeah.
that's something I really want to use our platform for. We use it for a lot of things, and this is a really important one to me, obviously, to Zoe and I, to like help Francis, help these other kids with this disease, and hopefully help a larger group of people. Hopefully, make it more accessible to folks, make it affordable. It has to be affordable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to feel really isolating and scary too, knowing how rare this disease is. And you and Zoe have to do so much research, like you're the doctors, and you're kind of hoping the professionals are going to be like, oh, here's the easy fix. And that's not the way it is. Like that has to be one of the scariest feelings. Like you're a
Oh yeah.
musician, not a doctor, you know?
Yeah, Zoe is the expert on DHDDS.
Okay.
She is the leading expert in the world, and it's just how it works. I mean, you have to do it. There's no
Yeah.
way everybody could be focused on these very rare diseases. But the more you learn, the more you kind of understand that this is happening everywhere, and this is a time that we're really lucky to be in. Genetics, man. You know,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have known what it was. We'd just been like, oh, well, she has tremors. Oh, it's like Parkinson's or whatever they would like blanket label it. So I feel like we're really lucky to know exactly what it is, and everybody should be, you know, trying to get genetic testing done themselves. I think that is a very important thing. Had we known 5 years ago, had we known 10 years ago, we could have been on top of this. And it wasn't possible 10 years ago, but
Right.
I think it's very important for everybody to understand that. Yeah, test your kids, man.
Yeah.
It'll be so helpful in the long run just to know like if there's anything that you need to help out with.
Absolutely. So obviously people can go to chrisblackchangemylife.com/donate and they can donate, but you also have those Frances Changed My Life t-shirts that they can buy, and 100% of the proceeds go towards her treatment, correct?
Yeah, it does.
And then obviously we're trying to send people to see you guys at the Hollywood Bowl. If you buy those shirts, wear them to the show and tell
Oh, yes,
everybody
please.
in the crowd the story so that they can also go get on their phones and buy those t-shirts as well. Because obviously we want to get as much word out about this as we possibly can. Because I mean, you guys are you're really going through it right now. And I absolutely wish the best for your daughter. She seems like such a little ray of sunshine. Watching that video had me tearing up. I was like, damn it, John.
She is so
She's
funny. She is the
awesome.
best.
Yeah. So I believe the last time we saw you, you were singing through a broken jaw at Innings Fest. Are you finally done with rehab for that?
Yeah, it's still healing. It's so funny.
Oh,
If it wasn't for the pandemic, if it wasn't for the shutdown, I would have kept singing. I mean, I think that's the Alaskan way, is to just go, well, yeah, it hurts. Of course, life hurts. Life is pain. Like, let's go. Like, I gotta go to work.
now being from Alaska, I just have one more question for you. I know we're running out of time. How many UFOs have you witnessed? Be honest.
Wait a second. Is this an Alaska specific question?
Yes. Have you seen
Uh,
the fourth kind?
oh hell yeah. Are you kidding? Like I've seen so many things in Alaska. I think I wonder how many Alaskans you could ask that haven't seen anything
That's what
kind of
I'm
wild out there.
saying. Like over a dozen for you've seen?
I don't know what I've seen, but I've definitely seen things.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, like a true Alaskan, not giving the full details. I guess I'm just gonna have to take a little week trip up there and see what I see. Thanks, John. I really appreciate your time, man. We're really looking forward to seeing you in LA at the Hollywood Bowl. And we're definitely going to spread the word about donations for Frances. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.